studios of WGBF 1280, and our little show here is called "This Is What's Wrong with Being Right." I started off before I came in here. I said a little prayer because I hope that doesn't offend anybody. But I said a little prayer and asked for wisdom. It says in the Bible that if you ask God for wisdom, He'll give it to you generously. Well, so I'm definitely going to have to borrow some wisdom from Him. But anyway, what I want to discuss today is, I'm sure many of you have heard about what happened over in Ferguson, Missouri. That's been in the news quite a lot lately, especially after the grand jury came out with its decision. But in the last couple of days, there's been another grand jury outcome, and it's been, this time it was in New York City, about a gentleman that died basically after he was put in some type of chokehold and ended up passing away. I think before the ambulance or the EMT services got there. Well, in my opinion, that's not the biggest story. The biggest story is how President Obama, in my opinion, has taken this tragedy and used it for political gain. I'm sorry, but I'm extremely frustrated right now because, again, those poor families that are not only going through the pain of what's happened to them, they've got to listen to, the president out there grandstanding. He's got Al Sharpton out there. I got to tell you, let me back up a little bit. They must really be proud of themselves because they've organized people to say, no justice, no peace. Justice, when do we want it now? Well, that really took a lot of leadership, sarcasm intended. But to me, it just hurts me down to my core to see, again, the President of the United States, along with his, allies like Al Sharpton, who, by the way, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I'm sure you've all heard of Al Sharpton because if he's in the room, he's going to get in front of a camera. But over the last 6 years, Al Sharpton has met with the president a total of 82 times. Now, the Republican Party, which hopefully you'll see in a minute, I'm more of an independent, but the Republican Party, the leadership, which I think is Mitch McConnell and John Boehner, they have met with the president in the White House about 3 or 4 times, okay? So you've got people that can, along with the president, that can really make a difference in whether it's the economy, taxes, a lot of different things, met with the president 3 or 4 times. Al Sharpton's been there 82 times. My question is, what good did that do the good old US of A? I'd love to hear a comment on that. In my opinion, it was a big fat goose egg. Well, let me go back to what I started out talking about, which was the situation in New York City. Now, I wasn't aware, as along with a lot of people, wasn't aware of all the details that went on in Ferguson. But for the first time last night, I saw the video of what happened in New York, and I got to tell you, that hurts me to watch that. Now, I think there was problems on both sides. First of all, I'll say I feel in New York City, the police definitely have got bigger fish to fry than whether or not to worry about some man selling cigarettes on the sidewalk. Now, was he breaking the law? Absolutely. But anybody that saw that video could clearly see that situation could have been handled a whole lot differently. And if it was done properly, the man would probably still be living today. Well, when first of all, New York City taxes the heck out of cigarettes. And if any of you that smoke out there, which, I don't smoke, but, I don't even like to be around them, but it's a legal product that if anybody believes that the United States of America doesn't want, well, let me start over. If you believe that the United States of America really wants you to quit smoking or quit drinking, boy, I got some stuff I want to say out in Arizona. But they tax, I think a pack of cigarettes in New York City is about $8 or $9 a pack. Well, what this gentleman was doing, he was buying them in a state, I believe it was North Carolina. He was buying them very inexpensively, selling them in New York City for a lot cheaper than what you could buy them in New York City. Well, when the police officers approached him, you know, some heated words were exchanged, and you know he didn't do what the officers instructed him to do. Well, then it got out of hand. Got in some type of a chokehold. He was saying, "Look, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe," and then the gentleman died. Now, again, I'm thinking to myself, if I'm in a situation like that, first of all, I want to think, okay, I've got this gentleman here, he's trying to sell cigarettes, okay. But you know, probably 2 or 3 blocks down the way, somebody's probably getting mugged. I mean, to me, absolutely zero common sense there. You know, things would probably be a whole lot better if someone would take a deep breath, get these people together, and try to do something that's impactful, that's going to actually make a change. You know, they ought to, Al Sharpton ought to be really proud of himself because he's organized, a group of people to, chant, "No justice, no peace." We want justice. When do we want it? Now. My gosh, it's like he's training mind-numb robots. He ought to be real proud of himself. Let's burn this blankety blank down. That's what these guys have created. And the people that have just kind of fallen into it and just went along with it, and have taken this opportunity to loot, to steal, to burn, to burn places down. I don't know how many of you do this, but I ask myself a lot, what would I do? Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants, what would you do if you were in charge? Well, I can tell you one thing that I definitely would not do, and that's I would not put the needs of me first above what I was elected to do, which was, it's like, what was it? I forget what it was. How's that Hope and Change working for you now? I definitely wouldn't put myself first. I would try to have, people around me with a common goal of what can we do to help the American people. And I can tell you, this last election, hands down, was about the American people don't want Obamacare. The vast majority of them do not want Obamacare. They don't want several million people that are here illegally. They don't want them overnight to be made legal. The job market out there is already tough enough, without just the President of the United States, basically with the stroke of his pen, making those folks illegal. Making them legal. But, today I'm going to kind of end it there. I thank you for your time. Please subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. But the last thing I want to say is that if you didn't vote, people say, well, you don't have a right to say anything. Well, I don't believe that. Shame on you if you didn't vote, but I got to tell you, we're all in this, and if people don't take responsibility, starting from the president down, this country is going to continue, in my opinion, to go down further in the abyss. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Again, please subscribe. My name is Rob Belt here at 1280 WGBF, and this is what's wrong with being right.